Hi, my name is Santana. This video was made to reach out to the people out there, especially those in the inner cities. Dating is generally hard for all people. A lot of misfortunate events often occur when dating. However, the problem seems to be worse in urban areas. Too many people are suffering, and something needs to be done to ease the pain. So today, we'll diagnose the problem and prescribe the solution.
Come true, yeah. One can stand alone in the dark. Two can make a light shine through. It takes two, baby. It takes two, baby. Me and you. She's a very kinky girl, the kind you don't take home to mother. She will never let your spirits down once you get her off the street. Oh, girl. She likes the boys in the band. She says that I'm her all-time favorite. When I make my move to her room, it's the right time. She's never hard to please. Oh, no.
Alright, now this first song you heard was Super Freak by Rick James in 1981. Now, basically, if you listen to the content of the lyrics, it's basically saying, you know, she's a super freak, this is what kind of girl you want, this, that, and the third. And that right there is just a miseducation. And that's the way most people are raised. It started at a young age. Men are taught, you know, to talk to as many girls as possible, get as many girls as possible. And it's a misconception that all men are dogs, but the reason being is because of the miseducation that men get starting at a young age, and the misconception that being a dog is okay, going for the super freak is what you're supposed to do, and vice versa for the females. They're taught that, you know, the nice guy is lame, the nice guy is boring, you know what I'm saying, and they want the more roughneck dude, the more tough guy that not necessarily is going to be a provider or something like that. It's just based on your attitude and your swag, and, you know, how tough you are, how macho you are. But what that causes is a problem with courtship. Nowadays, women don't know when they're being courted versus when a man is trying to just get in their pants. For example, if a man comes at a woman and is being very cordial, very nice, very, you know, respectable, a woman might get, you know, turned down by it and be like, what are you doing? You know, it's a turn off, because she's thinking like, okay, this guy's a creep, this guy's weird, this guy, what are you saying, what are you doing? But then a dude that's just trying to get in her pants, he's more aggressive, he's more of a go-getter, and he's just going to come at her, you know, saying with just one goal in mind. But some women don't see that, they don't understand that, and they think that, okay, he really likes her because he's giving her attention. But the attention that he's giving her is negative attention. You see what I'm saying? And another misconception is, for guys, we don't understand the difference between being a man and being masculine. When you're a man, you're taking care of your family, you're paying your bills, you're responsible, you're working hard, you know what I'm saying? You're doing what you have to do. But being masculine, you just have to be macho and tough and get all the girls and be cool and know how to dress and be, you know, all extra swagged out or whatever. But nowadays, people think that that's what being a man is. But there's actually a difference. There's being a man and there's being masculine. You can be a man and you're not masculine at all. You can be masculine, but you're not even a man. Because you can get all the girls in the world, you can have money, you can have muscles, all of that. It don't make you a man. If you're not taking care of your kids, if you're not respectable towards women, if you're not a leader, if you're not responsible, then you're not a man. So all of that just causes chaos, confusion, and corruption. Alright, now the song you just heard by Dina Howard, Freak Like Me, which was released in 1995, is purely a sexual song. She says that she want to freak in the morning, freak in the evening, just like her. She need a roughneck brother that can satisfy her. First of all, lust is not something that you need. Lust is just something that you want. It is strictly a pleasure. Alright, and the problem is women are attracted to the lustful guys. Now, if a woman is actually looking for love, not just looking for just quick pleasure, she's actually looking for love, looking for a relationship, she tends to more often go for the lustful type of guys because it tends to be more attractive. But the thing is, you have to differentiate the two. First of all, lust is just something purely sexual. Love is actually caring about someone genuinely, trying to get to know somebody, just wanting to be around that person continuously. And you have to make identifications as far as if someone is just lusting after you, if they actually want to be with you. People will just smoke, drink, sleep together, you know, and they fall in love, you know, they think that they love each other, but they don't know anything about each other. Then all of a sudden they have a child, and they just now realizing that they're not even compatible, that they hate each other. But it's because their relationship wasn't based on love, it was based on purely lust. Just sleeping around and that's it. Then they just got emotionally attached with each other. That's not love, that's just lust. But you have to be able to make that identification also by asking questions. For example, you have to know what he or she, you know, with your partner, where they want to go in life. You can't wait 5 years down the road like, wait, what are we doing? Wait, are we going to get married or what? You got to know beforehand. You see what I'm saying? And that's where the problem lies. People just go with the flow. And you have to know what you want. Some people are confused. They just go for whatever comes their way. And when they do know what they want, is it going to help a relationship? For example, you can ask people, what do you look for in a man? Or tall, dark, and handsome. What do you look for in a woman? Or she just got to be fly. I mean, that's not going to help a relationship in any way, shape, or form. You see what I'm saying? You have to be wanting stuff as far as like their character, you know, their personality, you know, their goals have to match your goals. But people don't look at it that way.
What you twerking with?
this song right here is one of the biggest songs of 2012. Pop That by French Montana and other artists. But this song right here is a very sexually explicit song. It's pretty much having sex on the dance floor. When the song comes out in the club, everyone goes crazy. All the girls that were sitting by the bar or whatever all rush to the dance floor. All the guys dive in. But that song is not promoting anything positive. And that's what today's society is based on, negativity. For example, like in the club scene, you can't go up to a girl and try to court her, talk to her like you're trying to get to know her, you know what I'm saying? Let's exchange numbers so that I can take you out on a date, you know what I'm saying? I'd like to get to know you. It's nothing like that. It's, you know what I'm saying? If you up top, your mom was really good. You know, if you down, say, "Hey, shout out, let me holler at you." You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about. It's about who's buying the most drinks, who's popping bottles, who's balling, who's, you know what I'm saying, throwing money. The girls are attracted to the dudes that are spending the most money. The dude that's being respectable or anything. You know, anybody paying him any mind. He's not getting no attention. You know what I'm saying? And everything is ratchet this, ratchet that. On social media, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, girls just want to take, you know, explicit pictures of themselves to get attention. But if a woman takes a picture, a classy picture, just a headshot, no body, nothing, she's not going to get a lot of likes. The girl that takes the picture with all the cleavage or showing her backside, she's going to get 100 likes. You know what I'm saying? But ratchet is never associated with anything positive. But yet, everybody wants to be ratchet as possible. You know what I'm saying? Take a picture of something ratchet, making jokes, you know, videotape people fighting, post it on YouTube. Everybody go crazy. And classiness is disintegrating. Back in the day, people wore shirt and ties. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, don't nobody want to wear a shirt and tie. You know, I mean, I'm dressed down right now, you know what I'm saying? I got my watch, my chain, my snapback hat. I'm looking fly, I'm looking fresh or whatever. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but every once in a while, you should be able to wear a shirt and tie. People don't even wear shirt and tie to interviews. You see what I'm saying? And then award shows, rappers ain't even coming in dressed up. It's an elegant event. You see what I'm saying? It's a elegant event and dudes is coming in dressing as hood as possible, like they're in the block somewhere. That don't make no sense. There's a time and place for everything. There's a way you dress for certain occasions. It's an elegant event. There's no reason for you to be wearing, you know, your jeans down to your ankles. And, you know what I'm saying? No shirt, no tie, no classiness. Dudes is taking girls out on a fancy date and they dress in hood. That doesn't make any sense. And another problem with today's society, we're not following the traditions of before. And for example, if you watch a film prior to the civil rights movement, you know, if you watch a film from the 40s, from the 50s, you know, brother man just, you know, he met a girl, he's interested in her, he pursued her and only her, married her, had a family, raised them, and that was it. It wasn't about, you know, him popping bottles or, you know, saying, balling, tricking, you know, getting the most girls. It was nothing like that. That wasn't, you know what I'm saying, what was in. Nowadays, that's what's in. But if you think about it, all of that is now backfiring on us.
Unbreak my heart, say you love me again, undo this hurt you caused when you walked out the door and walked out of my life, uncry these tears, I cried so many nights, unbreak my
this song right here is by Tony Braxton, Unbreak My Heart, which was released in 1995. Now, if you listen to the lyrics of the song, she's saying, unbreak my heart, say you love me again, undo this hurt that you caused when you walked out the door and walked out of my life. Now, that right there is a very common scenario for guys and girls, but mostly girls. A lot of times that situation occurs, you know, a guy and a girl, they were in a relationship, the guy got tired, he leaves, and now she's an emotional wreck. But the problem is, a lot of times, he wasn't even looking for anything serious. It just turned into something serious. He got tired of it and had to bail out. And unfortunately, a lot of times, a baby comes into the picture, and that's when he decides to bail out. Now, there's a lot of consequences to that. First of all, 59% of black women in America have multiple children with multiple fathers. Now, that right there causes drama because she has to involve her children in her dating life now. Any man that she's dating has to be prepared to, you know, be involved in her children's life as well. But then now her baby's daddy is still around, and now it's a constant issue between her new boyfriend and her baby's daddy. But also, some women go the opposite route, and now they just hate men. They take their anger out on men. If they do decide to date a man, they take their anger out, pass the pain on to them. But all of that ultimately is an issue because 45% of black women in America are single and never married. But if they have kids, why they're not married? Also, what multiple partners and promiscuity, what it leads to is STDs. 44% of all AIDS cases in America are of black people, black cases. 35% of chlamydia cases are black people. 47% of syphilis cases are black people. And 69% of gonorrhea cases are black people. But that right there is a major epidemic. It's almost scary. And what the lifestyle of, you know, the baggage, the broken hearts, all of this, it leads to poverty because this woman is raising all these children by herself. If she wants to go back to school, she can't, or if she does, it's extremely hard. There's only one source of income. So raising a family by yourself with one source of income is going to cause you to be financially behind. 47% of single black mothers in America live below the poverty line. Okay? And poverty equates to crime. The poor neighborhoods are usually the more violent neighborhoods. And as far as crime goes, I mean, black on black crime is just a serious problem. Has been going on for years. 38% of all drug arrests are black men. 40% of the jail population is black men, when the United States is only 14% black. Okay? And the children suffer the most from it because 72% of black children in America are born and raised without their father. Now, the reason why I say they suffer the most is because 35% of black children are either suspended and or expelled from school between grades 7 and 12. Only 52% of black men graduate high school in 4 years. That means the rest 48% are either getting held back a year or two, or they're simply dropping out. And teen pregnancy is still an issue that we're facing today. And when you become a teen mom, you're more likely to have to drop out and fall into that poverty category. So all of that creates a social epidemic. But what people need to understand is it's even biblical that the man is supposed to be the head of the household, and that the man is supposed to discipline his children. But if the man is not present, things cannot run in an orderly fashion, and there's no one to discipline the kids. There's only one person disciplined, but that's not suffice. And the woman's job is to nurture anyway. So that's what causes all these problems. Everybody, my name is Miguel Santana. I'm going to discuss with you all today, the solutions to a lot of the problems that my brother Manuel discussed with you all. I feel like it's a topic, when it comes to dating, I feel like it's a really, really important topic, because, people's futures and people's livelihoods and people's families are affected. So, I think it's something that we need to talk about more, especially when it comes to like the issues, because nobody does anything about it. We complain and we just argue all day and have, discussions, but we don't, try to come to a solution. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. Stay tuned.
Saying I'm more, kissing you on the ear, whispering I love you and I'll always be here. Although I often reminisce, I can't believe that I found a desire for true love floating around inside my soul, because my soul is cold. One half of me deserves to be this way till I'm old, but the other half needs affection and joy, and the warmth that is created by a girl and a boy. I need love.
Alright, now the song you all just heard was I Need Love by LL Cool J. That came out in 1987. Now, in the song, basically, in a nutshell, he's describing, his change of, views towards women, basically. He was a womanizer, he was a dog, he was only after one thing. Then he realized, that there was something better, basically, he was looking for love. Now, like, that was his new desire. That was his new motive, so to speak. So, that's the thing that, a lot of us fellas nowadays that we need to do. We need to change that mentality. Like, we have this perception that, women are just objects. And, women are taught and they're raised to, to always, have their guards up, and to always, to always be, overprotective of themselves, and just like, be extra cautious, when a guy is trying to talk to them, because they're taught basically not to trust men, because men are dogs and men are after one thing and this and that. So that's our fault. That's our fault, because we just want to sleep with as many women as possible. We want to sit there and brag to all our friends and talk about I had sex with her and and just it's a big competition, it's a big game, it's a big show. But if one of your friends, he starts falling in love, and he starts, then we start teasing him, and he's just, he's lame and he's funny now, and he's this and he's that. Another issue basically is, this misconception that good guys come last, which is rather, awkward to me. It makes no sense, because that's like saying, a good basketball player sits on the bench, or that's like saying, I go to this restaurant and it's good food, but I'm not going to go there anymore. The problem with that mentality basically is people tend to get it wrong. Like, there's this perception that basically guys are either like that socially awkward guy, that little nice softy, that harmless little, nerdy guy or something. He's like the little good guy. And then there's that big macho womanizer, good for nothing guy. So women, they don't want that little nerdy geeky guy that, that's just not manly. They just want that douchebag, because they feel as though, him talking down to her, him raising his voice at her, that's being a man. No, that's not being a man. That's being a jerk. They fail to, people fail to like understand that there's something in between. You could have swag, you could dress, urban and all of that, and be a good man. Being a good man has nothing to do with you know, a softy or being weak. It has to do with your morals. It has to do with your ambitions. You know, maybe someone that goes to church weekly, someone that, you know, that's in school and, you know, in high, you know, pursuing, you know, educational goals. You know, someone that respects women. You know, someone that family oriented. You know, something of that nature. It has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with their height or anything like that. It has nothing to do with, you know, that perception, you know, that the good guy is that little, you know, that little nerdy guy with the glasses. You know, people tend to just get it all wrong. And the thing with that is it causes women to make bad decisions. Like, women need to nowadays start making better decisions, because again, they go for that good for nothing guy. But I sit there and I ask myself, you know, when that guy ends up, you know, dogging you out and leaving you with that kid or doing you dirty and cheats on you, ask yourself, you know, what is that you saw in that man in the first place? You know, what were you attracted to? You know, just like I said, just because someone dresses a certain way, that doesn't make you bad. But the problem is when you see that guy with the earrings and the jewelry and you know, and the tattoos and the snapbacks and all of that, you just have that perception that he's a bad man, he's a bad boy. But why is it that what you're looking for? Because does that translate into? Wow, that's a father figure. You know, oh man, he sells drugs. Oh man, so what does that make him, a provider now? You know what I mean? Oh wow, he owns guns. That makes him a protector now. You know, you get women, they tend to look for the wrong things. But then, you know, when he ends up going to jail or you know, doing something, then all of a sudden they're left with that burden, you know, with that heartbreak, with that headache, you know, with that child or two, you know, and then they just left trying to pick up the pieces. You know, things happen, you know, we all make mistakes. You know, I'm not trying to bash anybody, but it's just for the, you know, for the next time. Because the problem with that is then another guy come along, and then that woman that's been hurt or that made that bad decision, that good guy come along and they can't appreciate it. They can't identify that he's a good man. You know, they get his intentions misconstrued. You know, or what happens a lot of times, since that's all they know is the bad boy, you know, because that's what they see all day in their hood or whatever, that's all they're going for, because that's all they know. That's all they know how to respond to. But then you're just going to keep making the same mistake over and over and over. And then that's how you get these statistics with, you know, like what my brother was mentioning with the statistics as far as the single black mothers with you know, with multiple baby daddies and all that. That's how things like that happen. When you keep going for the same guy, he impregnates you, then it's just a repetitive cycle. Now you have 3-4 kids with 3-4 different fathers. You know? It's just plain and simple. People got to make better decisions. You know? Even with the men. You know, like, ask yourself, if you're at that bar or in school or, you know, at the bank somewhere, you see this attractive young lady, and it's like, what is it that is attracting you to her? Why are you approaching her? Why are you going to try to pursue her? What is your intention? Is it, you know, to get to know her, to court her, or is it because you're just trying to, you know, go after one thing? Make better decisions, you know, because the thing that people got to understand, you know, especially when you get older, you know, when you get into your 25 and up, and your 30s and you know, 35 and around those ages, your intent should be getting married. And people have this misconception that, you know, marriage is boring. There's nothing wrong with being married. They feel as though, you know, back in the day, marriage was such a great thing. It was such a blessing. But nowadays, people see marriage as this curse. Like, oh man, like they feel like it's a trap to marry somebody. But the reason being is because people marry for the wrong reasons anyway. A lot of times they marry somebody over money, or because they have a kid with them, but they don't even love them, they don't know anything about them. But now you're marrying a stranger, or you're marrying your enemy, pretty much, you know? But your intentions have to be clear from the jump. And again, your purpose should be marriage. But people don't know what that is anymore. They don't know what courting is. And once we start to understand and start to really change our perception and mentality, that's when you're going to see those statistics go down. That's when you're going to see all these problems go, you know, start to fade away, because you have to ask yourself, back in the 30s and the 40s and 50s, the situation wasn't as bad as it is now. And why is that? Because the way they were going about things. Just like my brother was saying before, you know, you see some, you know, a man, he sees that lovely lady, you know, he courts her, he marries her, you know, down the line, and he has kids with her, and, you know, they live happily ever after, basically. That's why there wasn't any problems. But now when we change our mentality now, that's where these problems arise. So it makes no sense. If you want the problems to go away, go back to the old way, the old blueprint, the old school way. Now the song you all just heard was Stop in the Name of Love by Diana Ross and the Supremes. That came out in 1965. You know, about that song, it's pretty much self-explanatory. It's just stop. You know what I mean? That's what people need to do. Just stop making the same mistakes. You know, because basically the way I see it is like, okay, if you were a regular customer at, I don't know, a certain store or something of that nature, and their service was horrible, every time you went there it was an issue, would you keep going there? You know, so it's like, why keep making the same mistake? Why keep, you know, going for the same douchebag? You know, why keep, you know, putting up with their nonsense? You know, women, a lot of women nowadays, they need to like understand your worth. You know, it's like you could do better. You know, you don't belong to him. You don't owe him anything. You know, it's like you don't have to tolerate his mess, because there's plenty of guys out there. You'll find something better. You know, stop allowing that problem for yourself. You know, find a solution. The solution might not be him. You know, because the thing is, you might try to work things out with that man, but his intention was probably never to even really, you know, to be with you in the first place. So you don't have to tolerate his nonsense. Find someone better that would appreciate you for you, that would treat you like a queen, you know, that would respect you. Another problem that we have in our society is, you know, pretty much the people that we idolize. You know, stop idolizing, you know, these celebrities. You know, I'm not going to name any names, but they're only here to entertain us. But nowadays, you know, people see them as role models, and they want to mimic them, and they want to imitate what they say and what they do. You know, when you hear that song that says, you know, that just degrades women, then the young men coming up, they're growing up, and they just have this image in their mind that, wow, that song told me that I'm supposed to treat women a certain way, that I'm supposed to do this and I'm supposed to do that, and, you know, I'm not supposed to love them. You know, and they're saying never trust a woman, and all this stuff, and that's what we're being taught. And then the women, they're being taught that, you know, oh, you know, you're supposed to just, you know, just shake your goods in front of the camera, and then that's what you're supposed to do. And people having, you know, these false ideas, but we're looking up to the wrong people. And the last thing we need to stop doing is stop pointing the finger. You know, you have all these people, you know, you have a lot of women, they'll be at the beauty salon, at the nail parlor, and they're just complaining, you know, I can't find no good men, you know, talking about, you know, there's no good men out there, and all of that. And guys will do the same thing. They go to the, you know, the barber shop, and they're just complaining, and they're saying that the women are this and they're that, and it's just this big back and forth, and we're just pointing the finger, but we don't sit and think to ourselves, you know, if as men, if we sit and we think, wow, if women keep saying that we're this and we're that and we're this, and a lot of them pretty much say the same things about us, maybe it's true. So instead of sitting there retaliating, how about we change? How about we listen to what they say and listen to how they feel, and respect how they feel, and let's try to make a change on how we're treating them, how we perceive them. And it's the same thing with women, because a lot of the things that we say and do, a lot of things that, you know, the way we act towards women, or how women act towards men, a lot of it is not even natural. A lot of it is just what society teaches us. Because any woman naturally would just love the, you know, the attention for someone to just call them beautiful and someone to treat them right. But, you know, nowadays, you know, a lot of women, they see that as just lame. And, you know, and wow, he's lame. He's weird. So we just, like I said, we need to change that mentality, because a lot of it isn't even natural. It's just what we're taught. And more importantly, stop blaming each other. Sit back and point the finger at ourselves first. You know.
I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want to do is alright with me. 'Cause you make me feel so brand new. And I want to spend my life with you.
Now, as far as the song you all just heard, Let's Stay Together by Al Green, that came out in 1971. To reference that song, basically in a nutshell, you know, what he's expressing in the song is, you know, his desire, you know, to share his life with that woman, you know. You know, he's just showing his love for her, basically. He's displaying that. And the problem that we have nowadays, a lot of us, especially men, you know, we don't date with a purpose. It's like you see that attractive lady, and you know, maybe at the coffee shop or something, at the mall somewhere, and you talk to her, you approach her, but it's like, what is your intention? What's your purpose? You know, you just date her just to date her, just because. Like, you see a lot of, you go to a restaurant, maybe, you know, see couples there, and nowadays it's just a big show. It's just a big, it's just showing off. He's just trying to show how much money he could spend. He's just tricking off. He's just bragging to his friends that he got the, you know, the flyest model, you know, the prettiest girl, but it's nothing. There's no substance. It's just for fun, you know. What we need to start doing, you know, a lot of us, you know, is start having a game plan, you know. People, they just, you know, you just approaching this girl, you just want to talk to her, but yeah, you know, then you get with her, and you know, and then you might have a kid with her, and you know, a lot of times, you know, guys, they'll sit there and walk out and abandon her, and she's sitting there just upset and hurt, and wow, you know, she thought that she was going to spend the rest of her life with him, but that was never his plan, you know. And it's like, people don't sit down and, you know, come to an understanding as far as what exactly you're trying to get out of the relationship. People not trying to get to know each other anymore. It's just for show. You know, like, people like dating people for the wrong reasons, or you just attracted to that guy because, you know, because he has dreads or something, or because he's light skinned. You know, that's all shallow. You know, what does he have to offer though? You know, you just want to date her because she has a nice body, but that doesn't mean much, you know, or because she has a pretty face. Unless you're gonna just be looking at her pretty face all day, it means nothing. Where's the conversation? Where's the chemistry? What do you have in common? You know, what are your life goals? Do they tie into each other? You know, it's like people, they just don't take it serious anymore. They just she looks good or he looks good, so they just engage in conversation, and it doesn't even matter. They're not even thinking about who is this person exactly. They just go with the flow and just see what happens. You know, but you don't even know who you're dealing with. You know, you don't know what this person is capable of doing. But people, they're just careless nowadays, and it's just, whatever, she look good, and I'm just gonna, you know, just do what I have to do, and, you know, just go show off to my friends. You know, what people need to do a lot more is, you know, stay on the same page. Because, for example, you know, let's say he wants to join the army, or he wants to travel or move elsewhere, but she wants to stay. She's content where she is now, and then it just becomes a conflict. And it's just like, oh man, now they're not on the same page. Now they don't know what to do, you know. And it's like, people need to start having more ambitions also, especially for the black men out there. A lot of the guys in the city, it's like, aim higher. Not everybody could be a rapper or a basketball player. A lot of men nowadays, a lot of black men, you know, they just want to be the next superstar, you know. But a lot of these women, you know, they're in these universities, you know, in these colleges, they're getting their degrees and they're doing something with their lives, but they don't have a man to complement that, so to speak. Because what are the men doing? They're just getting into trouble all day. We need to start growing up, you know. enough with that childish nonsense lifestyle, you know. And also, there's nothing wrong, you know, with having one woman, you know, expressing your love and you know, being passionate and all of that. It's like, you know, a guy might see himself falling in love with this woman, and all of a sudden he's just scared now. He's just like, oh, you know, I don't want to be with that woman the rest of my life, you know. And then it's just like, oh, then you start running for what? There's nothing else out there. If you get something good, you know, keep her, you know, be fortunate, you know. That's what we need to start, you know, practicing more.
Cause a real man knows a real woman when he sees her, and a real woman knows a real man ain't afraid to please her, and a real woman knows a real man always comes first, and a real man just can't deny a woman's worth.
Now, as far as the hit single from 2001 by Alicia Keys called "A Woman's Worth," to touch base a little bit more on that song, a lot of women nowadays, you know, let's say, you know, they get up there in age, you know, and they're lonely and they're looking for love, and you just gotta be patient, you know, be positive. That right man will come along, you know. A lot of times a woman might just rush into a relationship with some guy because she's just tired of being alone, and she just wants somebody, and she's just with this any old nobody that maybe doesn't treat her right, doesn't respect her. And then, you know, she might end up regretting being with him, you know, maybe down the line meet someone better, or, you know, find herself in an affair, so to speak, because that tends to happen, you know. You sometimes you find yourself, you know, in regret, like, oh, what have I done? Why am I with this person? Now you find yourself almost trapped, like you're in a relationship that you just can't get out of. Maybe he's abusive, he's this, he's that. It's like, you just got to be patient, know that you're special, and just wait. You know, Mr. Right, so to speak. You know, Mr. Right will come along. You just got to know your worth. You know that you're a valued treasure, you're special. You know, somebody will love you. Not everybody can love you, you know. But in order to find that right man, you gotta focus on improving yourself first. And that goes for the guys too. You know, a woman might say, you know, they're looking for love, they're this and that, but they don't even got it together. You know, get your life right first. You know, be focused on your school or whatever it is that you need to take care of. Take care of, you know, other things. You know, I don't know, go to the gym. You know, do whatever you got. Just focus on yourself first. Same thing with the guys. You know, oh, you know, you're looking for love. You know, women love a man that can cook. You know, learn to cook. Don't say you want to get married and you can't even cook. You know, it's little things like that. You know, you just gotta bottom line, just be patient. And lastly, you gotta put God first. You know, just know that God has a plan for you. You know, you don't have to rush into a relationship or rush into something that God might not see fit for you. You know, just good things come with patience. And the last thing I wanted to say also, especially for the guys, I should have probably said this earlier, the guys that are scared of getting married. You know, even in the Bible it says itself that he who finds a wife finds what is good and receives favor from the Lord. So just keep that in mind.
turn this up. If you 18 or 21, you gotta turn this up. Yeah, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Thanks for staying tuned. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it was worth your time. And I hope you guys learned something from it. I'm Manuel Santana, also known as A Problem. I placed the problem out on the table for you guys. Hopefully you guys can take it, switch it around, apply what you learned so we can find a solution.
Alright, to all the viewers out there, I just want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Keep supporting us. We'd appreciate your feedback. And my name is Miguel Santana, also known as The Solution. And I just want to say, don't have it going one day and out the other. Just take something from it and put it into practice. Put it into effect. Let's make some changes.